So what does Ant Middleton mean by
filming a secret?
What does this hand gesture signify? And why is he breathing like this? All of this and more will be revealed during this Believe in Bruce body language assessment of was Ant Middleton being sincere when he was apologising about his COVID-19, the coronavirus advice that he gave on his social media. Remember that macho image that Ant either is or and portrays he is. You know, he's put there, and I put that in the title, killer. He's verbalised numerous times in the books about the people that he has killed. So he's been there, he has done it. He is a killer by the textbook definition, but he's done it in the realms of protecting his country or under the instruction of the government. I think it's important that before I get into this body language assessment, I need to put it out there that I am an Ant Middleton supporter. I think it's fantastic what he's done since he's come out of the armed forces. The career, the stellar career that he has created for himself is, it's inspirational to a lot of people coming out of the armed forces, and also keeps that armed forces connection really intact. So I am an Ant Middleton supporter. I still am an Ant Middleton supporter. I just think that on this occasion, he's let that narrative and that internal image that he's trying to project get the better of him. But he's not alone. This is my point here, and this is why I'm doing these videos, to raise awareness, if you will. You only need to look at the sort of beaches and the parks. Like, there is tens of thousands of people out there. So Ant's not alone in his thinking about, actually, is this as serious as people are trying to convey to me? Because, hey, I'm fine at the moment, so it must be fine. I must be all right to, to go out and mingle. And from that self-isolation perspective, yes, I'm working from home, but hey, it's the weekend, I've got nothing to do on board. It's okay to go with the kids to the park. So please understand that this body language analysis, I'm working against my conscious and subconscious bias as a supporter of Ant Middleton. And does that make me a hypocrite or not? Well, no, because we have to be authentic. We have to use what Ant says, integrity. And we can only report on what we've got. So I can't put a spin on this because it is what it is. But I think it's important to note, which will make it even more fair and balanced, that I am a big Ant Middleton supporter. I am a big ex-armed forces and current serving supporter, being ex-armed forces myself. But I have to do an authentic body language analysis to be fair and balanced. So welcome back to the Believe in Bruce channel, the channel where we focus on everything inside the head and the heart. Positive psychology, performance psychology, mental health, well-being. If you're into the head and heart, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe below, give us a thumbs up, but more importantly, leave your comments below as well. So this is a follow-up video to the video that I released previously about Ant Middleton's remarks.
Get out there, don't change, fuck COVID-19.
And as you know, on the Believe in Bruce channel, a lot of the stuff that we do is body language. Those tells, those giveaways. When the words that they're offering does not match up to what the body is doing. So I thought this one would be a brilliant example to delve in to Ant Middleton's apology and see if indeed he is sorry for the advice that he has offered, or whether he's just trying to create an arse covering exercise, a damage limitation exercise. Let's have a look at it. So if you haven't seen the apology, here is his apology. Now, what I want you to do is look at it. Listen to the words you say, because what we're going to look at here is micro behaviours and micro expressions as well, not just the body language. What is he saying? What words is he using? What cadence and emphasis is he putting on those particular words, as well as the body language? Here's the video. Have a look and listen and see what you feel, and comment below what you're picking up on.
For those of you that follow me, you'll know that I'm currently in New Zealand filming a secret project. However, that secret project has been cancelled, so I am going to be on a flight home this weekend. And now I've come out of this bubble, I've realised that I've probably been a bit insensitive towards the magnitude, the scale of the crisis that's happening in the UK. And the forever changing situation and advice that's being given. So what I've decided to do is take down my previous posts, because some of the advice that I give now goes against government advice, and I wouldn't want people to come across that now. So I've decided to take them down. I've decided to admit that I made a mistake. I always talk about integrity. Take that on the chin and come back to the UK and do the best that I possibly can. A big shout out, as always, to the emergency services, to the doctors, the nurses, the shelf stackers, the lorry drivers, the teachers, people that are keeping things moving back in the UK. A big shout out to you. Hopefully I'm going to come back and jump on board and help out where possible. Guys, I will see you soon. Stay positive. We've got this.
Alright, so let's get into the apology itself. Remember, with body language, for those of you who haven't been to this channel before, and again, thank you very much for coming. If you haven't, and again, big thanks to the people who keep coming back. Body language, it's around about looking for comfort versus discomfort. It's around about looking, do the words that we're offering equal or match or mirror what the body is saying? Because if not, if there is a little bit of discomfort, if it's not lining up, if 2 and 2 is not equaling 4, then we would stop and we would dig that little bit deeper. And remember, we're looking for the T-junction as well. What is the body doing at that particular moment when the words were offered? What words were said and what did the body do? This is what we're going to look at with Ant Middleton's apology. And remember, these are not my opinions. Biology doesn't lie. What we're looking at here is autonomous reactions. Not the words necessarily that he said by themselves, although we are looking at the cadence, the inflection, what words he's particularly using, but we're going to marry that up with the behaviours, the observable body language that we can see. So the micro expressions, the micro behaviours, as well as the body language coming in here. But biology does not lie. This is not my opinion. I am just going to be observing what Ant Middleton is doing. So remember, this is a response. He needs to try to start backing out of this in a way that tries to hold his credibility intact. And the first damage that he really does is within the first 5 sentences, he starts giving us words that hope to build a narrative in our head. And the word that he uses is secret. I've been on a secret project.
Filming a secret project.
Now the reason why he uses the word secret, it's part of the narrative for us to imagine, to us to create a story in our head where he is being trapped in this almost dark room where nobody could get to him, where he wasn't speaking to anybody and nobody was speaking to him. I've been on a secret project.
Filming a secret project.
The second part is where he breathes in here. Now, the breathing in is a giveaway. Because this is Ant getting ready for battle. This is Ant getting ready for action. This is Ant getting ready to go over the top, if you will. Because when you relax, imagine you're talking to some of your colleagues now or some of your family members and you've got away with something. Yeah, you've just managed by the skin of your nose to get away with something. You've gotten off the hook. Generally what we'll do is this. It's a relaxation technique. Breathe out. What you hear Ant doing is this. That's a breathe in. It's about, I'm priming myself. I am priming myself. Ant knows he's in the fight here. That's why, autonomously, without even thinking about it, he's priming himself for a fight. And then what we see here is within a short space of time, I think it's within 6 seconds, he repeats. So this so that's twice he repeats the word secret.
That secret project has been cancelled.
So twice he's repeated the word secret. Once he's took that breath in. This tells you that he's trying to create a narrative, but he's fighting for his life here. And again, because he's human, I've got to give him a break. I'm onto him, but I've got to give him a break because I've got empathy with the guy as well. And then what we've got is the old hand gestures here.
I am going to be.
So I'm coming back to the praying. Universally, that is the sign of prayer. So what his body's saying is, please when I come, because remember, it's what the words are saying at that particular time. What's the body doing? And the context is he is giving a response to his ill-advised video. Please be okay when I come back to the UK. And again, so we've heard the word secret twice. And now again, because we've got a cluster here, yeah, where we've got a cluster that I've just come out of this bubble.
And now I've come out of this bubble.
So there's been a secret project, and now I've just come out of this bubble. Be under no illusion, Ant Middleton is trying to give us the impression that he didn't know what was going on. Of course you knew what was going on. Bubble my arse. And there you'll see in this clip, he starts to look away and down. It's almost like he's being told off.
I've realised that,
Imagine when you're younger and someone puts you in your place. If you want to fight, you look at them in the eye. If not, you look away and down. You're sort of searching. You go to your inner self, your younger self down here. And this is what you see with Ant. And I love this one. I've probably been a little bit insensitive.
Get out there. don't change. Fuck COVID-19.
And then this one here, we've got a number of clusters. You'll see what's known as eye blocking. So it's above Ant's baseline. He blinks here and there throughout the video, but here what we've got is 3 blocks in quick succession. And what that is as he's speaking, he's trying to block out what he's done. He's trying to block out the impact of what he thinks could be waiting for him back in the UK. And the reason why I'm saying this, again, remember, biology doesn't lie. Those 3 blinks are well above his emotional baseline of how many times he normally blinks. Put this in, you'll hear a breath. The breath comes in. And then you also see this motion here. Now this is a form of hand soothing, self-soothing. He's almost holding his own hand. But it's also, you'll see when people are getting psyched up to start punching, it's almost like he's taking it out on himself. Just that frustration, that stress release. So put all those 3 together, you have an unquestionable, undeniable cluster of behavioural outputs. Have a look.
In the UK, in the UK, in the UK, in the UK.
But to be fair, this advice that Ant gave, when was that ever part of government national protocol or government advice?
And the forever changing situation and advice that's being given. Fuck COVID-19.
So here he's getting himself into a little pickle. He's almost getting a little bit lost in his explanation, which would be expected, which is, let's embrace that. Because he is in a fight, he's trying to recuperate, he's trying to do damage limitation. But he's doing that because he knows he's made a mistake. He has made an error. And then here we've got, he says, well, to go with the advice, well, was it advice or not?
So what I've decided to do is take down my previous posts because some of the advice that I give.
And again, this is where I get really confused, but I'm getting confused because it's not making sense, and it's not making sense because Ant's trying to get himself out of it. It's like it was either your opinion and it was based on advice, or you've made a mistake. It can't be both, or the way you're communicating it can't be both. It's like what you've just said in the previous clip, is that, well, actually, it aligned with what the government was saying back then, but now it's no longer appropriate. So if it was that, you haven't made a mistake, because at the time you did it, it was following government advice. You were going with what you were told.
I wouldn't want people to come across that now. So I've decided to take them down. I've decided to admit that I made a mistake.
Was it advice that was aligned with government advice, but there's obviously now changed? Or were you just gobbing off and you've made a mistake, you actually think, I need to put my hands up here? Which one was it, Ant? Now this one here, we've got the integrity, where he talks about integrity, and for me, there's a little bit of what you call a Duchenne smile. It's almost like a false smile.
I always talk about integrity. I always talk about integrity.
And again, let's create some breathing space here. He has probably felt, he's feeling it, he's going through it. But he talks about integrity at the same time he does that little bow.
Made a mistake. I always talk about integrity.
It's that subservient, that submissive bow where people come down when they know that they haven't got all the cards stacked in their favour. But this smile to me, it just looks a little bit strained. And when he talks about integrity, throughout this video here, I'm seeing signs of him not having the integrity that he espouses about, not having, which is something that in the forces they talk a lot about, having integrity. But I don't think he's shown all of the integrity that he believes he's shown, or that he would like people to believe that he has shown. And then he goes on to talk about the emergency services, etc.
Take that on the chin and come back to the UK and do the best that I possibly can. Shout out, as always, to the emergency services, to the doctors, the nurses, the shelf stackers, the lorry drivers.
And what he means by when he's get back, he's going to have to do some serious sucking up. Some damage limitation exercises here. Because you really had the best interest at heart when you were saying stuff like this, Ant, didn't you?
Fuck COVID-19.
So I've just got a picture now of Ant coming home and pulling on the pinny and going around with a feather duster and antiseptic. Basically, anything to try to get his public profile raised again.
A big shout out to you. Hopefully I'm going to come back and jump on board and help out where possible. Guys, I will see you soon. Stay positive. We've got this.
Oh, but you haven't got it. So again, that is a fair assessment based on biology, based on body language assessment, micro expressions, micro behaviours, behavioural clusters, all put that together. Now, let's create some space to discuss. Again, comment below, what do you think? What were you picking up on? But what we have got here is someone who has a high public profile, who has put a video out there, who has made an error, and who is trying to mitigate the negative impact on him, his career and his family. And I get that, because we all have an element of what I'm going to call self-preserving behaviours. And that's what Ant's doing now. He is self-preserving. He is aware that this could kick him up the arse. He is aware that this could be really detrimental, really negative to the job, the career, the persona, the image that he has carved out. So he's trying to self-preserve. And again, that's what humans do. That's why we're seeing supermarket fights at the moment over bog roll. We think we are in competition with each other. We want to survive. When we take that safety way of survival, we will self-preserve. It's like when you see people on an aeroplane. I've done a video about this the other day. When you're in an aeroplane going on holiday, you'll receive the safety briefing. This is what you do, and this is where your life jacket is, etc. But I guarantee, and me coming from an aircrew background in the Royal Air Force, I know that if that plane was to ditch and the water starts coming through the windows, it is every person for themselves. Not because we're nasty. Not because we're unempathic. It's because we're humans, we panic, we feel emotion, we start to self-preserve. Once we're outside the aircraft, we'll give other people a hand, but we have to get outside the aircraft first. Self-preservation is a really powerful tool, and this is what you see Ant doing here. And I'm going to put it out there. I'm absolutely gutted that he's used the word like secret and bubble, and he's doing all this type of stuff, and you know, the sort of hands are there. Because that, again, I didn't want him to do this type of stuff. I'm a big supporter of ex-armed forces coming out and making a great career from himself, and he's done that. And he's absolutely done that. So me, more than you, probably wanted him not to have done some of this stuff. I would rather have said, you know what? I've come out of the SBS. I've carved a name for myself as a rough, tough, macho guy. I've managed to market myself and convince other people that I am that person. And he's done well. Remember, Ant is not universal soldier or something like that. He's a part of a huge pool of the Special Forces community who happened through good luck and work and everything else on his part has been plucked out, and then he's built that image. But I would rather him say, do you know what? I've actually created this image in my head. I've started believing what people have said. I've got a bit like godlike, even the imposter syndrome. For those who don't know the imposter syndrome, Google it. It's where you act in a certain way because that's what you think other people expect of you. And this is what's going on here. He's created this rough, tough, macho thing that he's ultimately unbreakable in his mindset and all that. And actually, there's millions of more people out there who are more mentally tough or physically capable than Ant Middleton. But he's done very well for himself. He's just lost himself in that moment. And I believe that that's where that video come from. And the reason why I'm saying that is I care, is I want him to be the best version of himself. And if he had just said, look, I've just got lost in this moment. I forgot who I was. I forgot where I was going. Like, hey, I am human like you. And he is. He's just got lost in that particular narrative. I'm sorry, I got lost here. We've all done Chinese whispers. We've all exaggerated. We've all got excited and said something we shouldn't, me included. But where he's let himself down is where he hasn't had that integrity, where he hasn't had that honesty. He's trying to convey those messages like he has, but the words and behaviours don't match up, Ant. So again, just like at the start of the video, it's like, I'm good at that he's done it, but I'm also not good at it as well. Because he is only human. He has got carried away. He has let that narrative build up inside his head, and he's done something that actually is not fantastic. But he's not alone, is my point here. And we could use this information, people like this speaking out, maybe he's on incorrect terms or at least uneducated terms, to help educate the masses who are still going around almost with the head in the sand about this coronavirus epidemic, about the COVID-19 that Ant Middleton was speaking about. So again, remember, I've made mistakes in my life. I've, behaved in certain ways that are far from perfect, and I will do that in the future as well. So don't judge the guy too harshly, is my point. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. We've all erred, and we will err. We will do things that's not appropriate or other people find unpalatable in the future. So let's use this about what it can be used for, as a nudge, about a thinking point, to help educate other people who are still maybe blind or non-accepting of the severe situation that we find ourselves in. So I hope Ant Middleton goes on from strength to strength. I hope he finds that balance and bounces back from this, because actually he's an inspiration to a lot of people, and I am still a big supporter of Ant Middleton. So hopefully that is a fair assessment. If you have any other people that you would like me to do body language analysis on, I'll always try to be fair and balanced. And again, I work on biology, the information, the data, not just emotion, because emotion can be rarely is it 100% accurate. But connect with me at Instagram. Believe in Bruce 360. If there is any, and I'm getting lots of messages and thank you very much so far, if there is any other, from any element in the world, you know, celebrity, pop stars, footballers, athletes, whatever it is, let me know at Believe in Bruce 360. Give us a link and I will have a look and do a body language assessment if I think it's going to be popular enough. But more importantly than any of this, believe in Bruce. Be kind to yourselves and each other.